Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Sincerely do. Please confirm if there are any issues with the sound. You might have to turn it up a little bit due to the misfortune of having left my headset somewhere else. I'm using an alternative microphone. So if there are any problems with the sound, please let me know. Or even if it's okay, then please let me know as well, just so I have that. Mr. Campbell of all people turning up. What a sight for sore eyes that is. The tide is high, Paul. No, you cannot. No copyrighted music, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Anyway, good to have you here. I've not seen Wolfie around for a couple of days, so shout out to Wolfie. Hope he's all right. We'll see if he turns up at some point. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Um, well, let's get over to the other screen. And have a look at how things are going in the Super League. Even Ross, bless you all on Super League Day. Indeed, indeed, a blessed day it is for all of us. I thought we should have a quick look at the table to start, give people a chance to join. We've got a Badgers game coming up as well to pass the time before we get into the Super League action. But let's just remind ourselves of where we are, Northern Burn, way out in front, and then it's a bit of a congested area just behind Northern Burn with Dudley Exiles, East Coast, Foss Road, Haggis, all within a couple of points. Vikings not far behind, along with Fulchester. Sauce and Badgers hot on their heels, and then we have got Stanley, Sancte, and of course Los Santos and Stackington a little bit further down. But the top 10 all very much in it, and even 11th probably not out of it. It's going to be a struggle for Sancte on 14 points to catch up the 10 in the last 10 games or so. But of course, nothing is some things are impossible, but that's not one of the things that are impossible. But it would be a bit of a miraculous turn of form if that was to turn out for as a qualification for the playoffs for them. Anyway, this is what it looks like. As mentioned, we will be starting with Badgers against Lautoka in the Oceania, either way, in the OFC Champions Cup final. So that'll be first up tonight. As you can see, Badgers, not really a first team. Neil Lennon in central defense, etc., etc. But we do have to get this out of the way, of course, and hopefully it won't take too long, and there might even be some goals in this one. So let's have a look and see if Badgers can get into. Oh, it is the final. I thought it was the semi-final for some reason. It is the final. They're playing for the trophy. Let's see if Stanic and Amoroso and Basir and the boys can make the manager proud and perhaps get a spot in the first team based on their performances in this one. They've struggled. They've struggled to find the back of the net in the first half hour. I don't think the manager will be too pleased with that, but he also doesn't want any of his regulars running around and getting injured. So maybe in the second half, who knows? They had a bit of an easy one last time out. I think it was a nine goals that they got in that one. But it's been a good first half for the Lautoka goalkeeper Josefo Vosabolo, who isn't grayed out. Really? They have an actual player? Well, he's not doing too badly. He's not doing too badly. How haven't they scored? What do you mean, Steve? I mean, you never heard of Josefa Bozobolo? Look at him. 9 for handling, 6 for reflexes. Agility, not the best. I can see your message right now, Alex, so you can judge if that's live. We've only started a couple of minutes ago, so hopefully. No changes. We'll run as is in the second half. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. Um, Sucker punch. Can they catch them on the break? We're all loud talker tonight. Indeed, indeed. Um, Oh, Basia with his first goal for Badgers. Surely heartbreak for Lautoka and Fletcher. Um, adds a bit of salt in the wound there. Can they get a third? No, it doesn't look like it. It was looking so promising for such a long time for a genuine cup upset there. 23 shots, 19 of them on target. Vosabolo gets an 8. Meanwhile, over at the Badgers, it's Lee Fowler picking up a 10. Um, um, picking up a 10, and maybe we could see him in the Badgers first team in the not too distant. He has got that very solid right hand column and some good stats sort of scattered around. Very much an intrinsic players. Uh, yeah, how was he dropped to 19 shots on target and he lets two of them go in and he gets an 8? That does seem a bit harsh. I agree. I agree. Anyway, that's how Badgers got on, and congratulations to them for picking up the OFC Champions Cup final. It's not, it's only every other season that it runs, so yeah, great to see that they actually get that. So lovely. Of course, this being 3.9.60 an original database and everything, it actually works. This is the one that dies with the starter kit. It's the same team that wins the first league that qualifies every time. So anyway, um, back in the real world, Dudley Hill against Vikings. We have got both Steve and Paul here already this evening, so I think we can just crack on with that. I think it was just the one change for Dudley Hill. Let's see their last match. They had that 1-0 defeat at Stanley. Phil Neville getting the man of the match on an 8. They're at home tonight against Vikings, who are in form. Woodgate comes in from Montero, who's injured. It's 3 weeks, so he will miss a couple of games. Not good news. Collins is back. Hopefully for Steve, he'll be back on the score sheet as well soon. He did, as mentioned, he did start the season quite well with some contributions, but his stats aren't looking super hot. So, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a big call to pick Woodgate over Perry. It is indeed Chris Perry with the 733 average from the 3 games. Woodgate completely unknown, but I didn't realize Emerson was back. Yeah, well, you you did say you were away with the fairies for a couple of days, so yeah, you missed that, but I'm sure that Mark Kerr will do a brilliant job there in central midfield. Um, anyway, these are your Dudley boys. The Woodgate did well last. He did very well last season, 725 in 20 games. Good solid performance from him, and of course there's a lot more seasons in him than there is in Perry. If the save continues as stable as it is now, so that'll be fun to see how he develops. Anyway, that's your Dudley Hillside. Proceed to the match. The Vikings are unchanged from memory. Let's see. Last match was the 2-0 win against Exiles. I think Paul is very reluctant to change anything when it's going well. So this is how they line up. They have a bunch of players that are looking for an excuse for a holiday. If they pick up another yellow, they will have to sit out the next game due to suspension. But let's see if they manage to stay on. And to avoid yellows is Ferdinand, Yepes, Simeone, and Soroczynski. I'd be surprised if not one of them picks up a yellow tonight. Anyway, this is going to be our first Super League game of the evening. It's going to be Dudley Hill at home to Vikings. Paul and Steve, good luck in this one. I think it was Ima who did well for Vikings last time out in that victory that they had. Shevchenko loses his man. Not seen much of Shevchenko so far this season, from memory. I could be wrong, but I don't seem to remember a bunch of goals from him so far. Roberto Carlos, on the other hand, probably one of the best left wingers in the this particular season 16. It's been up there with a bunch of assists. I think his average rating is pretty high as well. So Steve's definitely getting numbers out of him. But maybe he would like some goals as well. They've been few and far between in the Super League, certainly in the last round, and of course so far in this one. Halftime, first 45 comes and goes. Uh, Reasonable amount of chances for both sides, 2 shots on target each. Quick look at the Viking stats reveals that Del Vecchio's on a 6, and so is Cafu. Everyone else is on a 7. Fitness wise, we're looking okay. Over on the Dudley end, Nine for Woodgate. So good call by the manager there. Paredes on an eight. Roberto Carlos picks up a yellow card. He's on a six, same as Mark Kerr. Any changes for either manager? Then please confirm in the comments. Quick look at the screen just to show what it looks like. Woodgate on the left at the back there. Shevchenko, as mentioned, only 4 goals so far this season. Uh, but same as he managed for East Coast in 31 games, so I guess he has improved in some ways. For the Vikings, similar setup, but no yellows yet, so they're keeping it nice and safe here. No changes for Stee at halftime. Anything from Paul for the Vikings? Maybe he's on the delayed timer this or delayed stream thing or whatever. Paul goes as is as well. Only kidding, mate. We run till 60, see how it goes. Del Vecchio and Aymar getting involved. Manager would like to see something out of those two. There comes Palmer, Aymar. It looks as if Vikings have had the better of the first bit of the second half. There we go, 60 minutes. There was a yellow card for someone. It wasn't Roberto Carlos because he already had one. Those are your stats, Steve. Carlos on a 6, Collins on a 6, Mark Kerr on a 6. Condition wise, you are doing okay. So it's just a case if you want to see, I guess, Alessandro or Cisse in there. That's your call at 60. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, Kiotis is on a 9. Simeone will miss the next match. He has picked up a yellow. Hersey's down on a 6. Will we see it's the Berea? That is one of the most obvious changes, I guess, that's available to Paul. Volodenko couldn't come on as well. Baumer's on a 6, which is not particularly good news. Steve says Alessandro for Mark Kerr trying to get some creativity in that midfield. We will see if it works. And Paul says Hersey for Edge de Berea as predicted. There we go. Just the one change for both managers, so excellent. We can progress with the last half hour of this one. Exciting stuff between Dudley and Vikings, even if there haven't been a lot of goals in it so far. Maybe they are just around the corner. We can cross our fingers and hope. Roberto Carlos certainly doing his best down that left hand side, but Vikings are holding steady. That was Woodgate picking up a yellow. We will slow it down for the last 10 minutes. Exciting times here. See if anyone can find the winner. 4 minutes to play of regular time. Rio Ferdinand is fouled by Shevchenko. That's the wrong way around. But Shevchenko out of nothing. I don't know where that came from. It looks as if an assist by Collins um, could have set up the winner for Shevchenko, and indeed he has. Nothing else happens in the last couple of minutes. 6 minutes, they ran down the clock. 9 shots, 5 on target, 5-4 for the Vikings. Very interesting game, and with an exciting finish as well. We'll start off by having a look at the Vikings stats. Thierry Henry on a 6. Not good for him. Esteberia came on and also a 6. Everyone else did okay, just couldn't find the back of the net. The 4 shots on target, I mean, they were kind of distributed amongst the right players, but it's just tough to break down Dudley. And of course, when you get the chances, you have to take them. Over at Dudley, Jonathan Woodgate comes in, gets a 10, man of the match. Paredes as well on a 9, Lasisi on an 8. Solid defensive display from the guys there. And of course, David Collins getting that assist. Shevchenko getting goal, 6 shots, off 4 of them on target, and one of them actually went in. So, happiness in the Dudley Hill camp. Good result for them. Vikings, who were on a great run, have hit a little bit of a bump in the road with that defeat, but nothing lasts forever, as they say. And this was the time for Vikings to cash in on a defeat. So, well done, Dudley. Commiseration, Vikings. We move on. We have East Coast coming up against Haggis. Mr. Campbell has joined us this evening. This is his side. They had that 1-0 win against. Exactly, Dimple. Exactly. That's a very valid point. Chris Perry never gets a chance for the man who claims to love him. I've, I've, mm, I've made this point many times as well. We'll see. We'll see if Steve caves in and gives him 5 games towards the end of the season, or a cameo in the grand final if he makes it so far. Anyway, this was Haggis' last time out against Sancte. Good solid display for them. They were at home. They are, of course, away now to East Coast. They line up like this. Jeremy's is in there. Schmutz is back in a DMC role. I think it was AMC last time out for reasons that escaped me. But anyway, this is the Haggis lineup. Kluivert, Van Nistelrooy, Jacques, Senden on the left wing, perhaps a surprise to some, but he has done well in the past for someone somewhere. I think maybe not in this particular iteration of the Super League, but I'm sure he's done something um, at Casel's maybe. Anyway, that's the Haggis lineup. They're up against East Coast Cosmos, who have a surprise that they've changed their tactic actually a little bit. Um, and means two up top with Salas and Constantino, Ronaldinho behind them, Boyer in the center of the park, Agat, Robin, Kovacic, Gattuso, Mark Giuliano, Baldini. Um, Indeed, he did, Dan. He saved us in that first season. He had a couple of miraculous assists or some goals or something like that on the left wing. I knew he would. I knew I'd seen him have a bit of a success somewhere. Anyway, East Coast Cosmos, we've not really. I tend to not speak a lot about them because there are usually very few changes. Manager goes about his business quite quietly, but obviously gets decent results. Highest win percentage in the league, perhaps. Either way, Giuliano does the job. 693. Strange that he gets such low averages, considering how few goals they actually concede, but seems to be working. Constantino as well, not my favorite player, but he has got 5 goals for the season in 12, which is not bad. He's partnered by Salas, a bit of a surprise for me that he gets a start, but he does have the attributes to be good. So maybe it'll be his night tonight against Haggis. Makat has come on a couple of times, never really done anything, so we don't see much of him. Um, when is Bergstrom getting a run, says Alex. Indeed, I was about to ask the same myself, but considering how poorly he performed when he did get a run, I guess it's going to be a while. He's obviously a completely different player to the one that came in and had that cameo towards the end of last season. So perhaps not in the near future. Let's kick this one off and see how it goes. When Robin stops playing like prime gigs. Indeed, that's maybe when he gets his chance. Let's see how this one goes. East Coast against Haggis. Good luck to both managers. Um, it's Petkov who opens the scoring for Haggis. Surprise, surprise, as the visitors take an early lead. Petkov, the unlikely scorer as well. East Coast going to have to come up with something before half time, I think. Oh, and it's Senden who gets his first goal for Haggis. And it's Jeremy's with a third, is ruled out for offside. Tactical changes for East Coast not having the desired effect at all. Perhaps in the second half, the players will start to get used to it and try to find each other. But it's all Haggis so far, 2-0 at half time. Um, that's not what happened in the first half. I, I don't know. I don't know. It looked as if Haggis had all the chances. But anyway, this is what the stats look like, apparently. Apparently. In terms of ratings, Jeremy's got the assist. He had the goal ruled out for offside. Carlos Jacks on a 6 in the AMC role. Robert Pires on a 6 over on the right wing. Not brilliant, but suspect the managers will roll till 60. And indeed, Campbell confirms that they do. Fabian Barthez having a bit of a stinker. He's on a 5. Um, Baldini on a 6, same as Gattuso, despite having completed 25 out of 27 passes. It's just not really gone East Coast's way. Dimple says roll till 60, so that's what we will do. 52 comes up already, and that's the first 10 minutes of the second, 15 minutes of the second half gone already. Robin on a 7, Robin and Boyer both on yellows, both on 7s. In terms of conditions, there are no concerns. We have got Fernando Torres, really the only attacking option that the manager can call on the bench. Perhaps we will see him go 3 up top. Meanwhile, over at Haggis, I presume Ian is going to roll, or perhaps give Tomadera or Casas a run, as both Shax and Kluivert aren't doing particularly well. In terms of condition, send them down on 82, but apart from that, it's looking pretty decent. Dimple says, as oh, that was for the previous one. I guess it wasn't for now. Um, Tomadera for Patrick Kluivert. Poor, poor Gaston Casa sitting on the bench with those numbers. I guess he hasn't done particularly well since he was at Fulchester, but still seems harsh. Anyway, Tomadera comes on for Haggis. Um, let's see if Dimble has any instructions or any changes. Indeed, he has. Baldini goes off for Torres. Torres next to Ronaldinho, both at AMC. Oh, he's gone Alf. He's gone Alf. He's gone Alf at AMC. Diagonal arrows. Will it work? Will this work? It will be. I mean, you can't blame him for trying. It's something's gotta something extraordinary is gonna have to be the thing that breaks down this Haggis defense. Let's run until the end and see how it goes. If it has the desired effect, certainly seems to have sparked them into life a little bit. 10 minutes, and they had a couple of chances, but it's quieted down again. And there was Tomadera for Haggis. No need to slow this one down. The result is not in doubt at all. It even looked more likely to be four rather than one for East Coast, and it finishes 3-0. A bit of a surprise win. Clinical finishing from Haggis. Um, players play a manager turns up, players turn up. It's it's an amazing coincidence we've had here this evening. Um, Tough one for East Coast. It's always annoying when you change your tactic, it goes straight in and you get a bad result. I mean, what it's a gamble, but what can you do? I'm sure East Coast will bounce back. They have before, and we'll see that. We'll see good results from them in the not too distant future. Petkov with an assist. And Ceremes had the assist in the first half. Tomadera gets an 8 and man of the match um, from for yeah reasons unknown. Reasons unknown. But anyway, uh, we shall not dwell. Bartes picks up a 5, probably not helping the cause at all, and nothing really happening from Salas with 0 shots. Um, Bartes was supposed to put an end to the keeper shite. Indeed, he seems like a fairly safe pair of hands, but in general, but he's had a stinker there, and he had one a couple of games ago as well. So yeah, not ideal, not ideal. But Super League keepers, Championship manager keepers, it's a tough one. It's a tough one sometimes. Anyway, commiserations, Dimble, and congratulations to Haggis and to Mr. Campbell. Next up, it seems as though we have got Foss Road against Fulchester. Foss Road manager enjoying himself with the former chairman, Mr. Fifey, this evening at some kind of event, concert perhaps, or comedy. Paul Smith, if anyone knows, I was going to say if anyone knows a Paul Smith, I guess there are several, but there is a famous Paul Smith that they're seeing tonight. So I'm on sub duties. Good luck with that. Mon Voss, well, let's see. Anyway, we're here to talk about Fulchester first. Um, there were changes. I'll be damned if I can remember what they were. Rizal for Beckham, I think, was the one because Beckham is injured. And Seedorf moved in. Indeed, Seedorf moved into the centre. Yeah, that's the only change for Fulchester. 0-0 draw with Northern Burn. So let's see how they get on. Sergio Conceição, just like Sendon, a debutant this evening. Over at Foss Road, I think. Did someone come back in? Hoffland, maybe? Or was that last week? Difficult to keep track. But anyway, there wasn't a bunch of changes. I think it was Hoffland back in. They lost, obviously, to Stackington, and indeed, it it appears to be. So we kick this one off, and we can see what Foss Road can do at home with the chairman on substitute duties. Um, we'll see how it goes. I think he said something about fives or if they're losing heavily or something like that. I'll check the notes. I'll check the notes so we don't get any more uh, negative ticks in the negative boxes for forgetting or overlooking things for Foss Road. No bias in the Super League, obviously. 22 minutes gone. No goals yet, but plenty of chances, mainly for Foss Road, I believe. Although I could be wrong, as I was last game. It does look as if Fulchester's had a chance or two as well, but not found the back of the net so far. Crespo comes forward. Crespo, who was after a great start, struggled a little bit to sort of recapture that form. 7 shot, 3 of them on target from Foss Road. There are no one on a 5 and no one is struggling, so Foss Road will be doing nothing at halftime. Fulchester, meanwhile, Zanetti's on a 6 on a yellow card. He's not having the season 740, but the contributions not looking particularly good. Fitness wise, we are doing okay. Dan, these are your numbers if you want to do anything. Meanwhile, thank you for the comments and questions about the flooding, by the way. Everyone is fine. The other side of the river, less so, but that's kind of their problem. Swap Danielson with Conceição. We'll try that. We will try that. And I guess that's it until 60. Let it run a little bit slow just because I wasn't sure if that would be all, but I presume so. Otherwise, we can, of course, stop it again. That's all. Excellent. Um, yeah, decent start to the second half as well. Plenty of chances, but still no goal. 8 and 4, and everyone's doing okay. I will just double check the Foss Road comments. Replacement for 5 ratings. Yeah, that's probably it. He says 2 up top, but I guess that's in a case of real emergency. So far, it looks as if they could still get a win in this one. Frey is on a 9, yellow cards for Maserati, Michelin, and Shanetti. Fitness wise, you're doing okay. I think Danielson maybe on 81, the worst. So Dan, any changes you want to make? Uh, let's see. Danielson with Sadov and done. Excellent. We run till the end and see if someone can find the back of the net in the last 30 minutes. That would be delightful. Give us something to talk about, something to cheer for. After Fulchester had that goal to draw last time out, it would be a shame for them to run into another one. But it's Viduka who opens the scoring for Fulchester. The away side have taken the lead. Cambiaso picks up an injury. No one likes to see that. I believe Tudor can play DMC as well, so he goes straight in for as a replacement. 12 minutes to play. We will slow it down a little bit just so we can see if Foss Road can find a way back into this or if it will be Sadov and Fulchester who will take the 3 points here. Exciting times as we go into the last 10 minutes. Excellent tackle. Van der Vaart comes forward. And Ortega is off for the Unicorns. Um, I mean, there's not really much to do here. We can push Veron forward or even give him an arrow. Uh, I don't really think that other changes. I don't remember the rules. I think when you get a red card, there's not a time for tactical changes. Either way, I will have to consult the rules, but I believe not. Or can you? Tactical changes with a red card, or is it with an injury? I forget. So we leave the arrow on Baron, and no, and Fulchester doesn't get a chance to do anything either. And I will have to consult my own rules for next time. Apologies for anyone negatively impacted by my inability to remember these things. That's how it goes. 3 minutes left to play. It looks as if Foss Road are still in this. Somehow, down to 10 men. They are the ones creating the chances. Vogel intercepts it here. but it's Dennison who comes forward, and then Nielsen has made it 2-0 for Fulchester. A goal from out of nowhere in the 90th minute. Fulchester picks up all 3 points. Commiserations to Foss Road. Apologies to the manager for not being able to remember the rules, but with only 7 minutes to. Used to be tactical changes for both after red, didn't it? Could be, Ian, could very well be. But I didn't really feel super comfortable doing a bunch of stuff for Foss Road, and therefore disallowed for both. But you could very well be right. Smash and grab for Fulchester. Was it though? Nice comeback there in the second half. Good performances for especially for Vogel and for Seb Frey, probably the two key players there, and of course the couple of guys getting the goals. Tough one for Foss Road. Um, as mentioned, not really sure what to do in terms of tactical changes with 7 minutes to go. Could have thrown someone else up front, but hey ho, that's how it is. Um, and a 2-0 victory for Fulchester. Well done, Dan, and well done, Fulchester. Next up, we have Exiles against Stackington. And Alex is here, obviously. I'm not sure if Neil is here, but either way, Figo comes in at DMR for Diana. That's the only change for Exiles since that 2-0 defeat at Vikings last time out. Meanwhile, over at Stackington, there were changes. I could have sworn there were changes. Agahawa for Del Piero and Defoe for Elba, I believe, are the changes. O'Neill is here. Who has Kalushny? I saw Kalushny recently. Uh, Good question. Los Santos has Kalushny. Indeed, Defoe. Defoe is up top for Stackington, and Agahawa dropped to the bench for. Agahawa comes onto the bench for Del Piero. Is that right? Agahawa for Del Piero is the only change. Indeed, a bench swap. A bench swap and Defoe starting ahead of Elba. Those were the changes. Håkon Mild is moving to Sloss, I believe. Indeed, after the end of the season, he will be moving to Sloss for Jesper Grønkjær. Anyway, Exiles first up against Dackington. Um, let's see how this one goes. Home side have been very difficult to beat over a number of games, and then had that 2-0 defeat. Charlie Chaos not living up to his normal, very very high standards, and it's Ernesto Farias, one of the out of league signings, who opens the scoring for Exiles against Daggington. Oh, and Christian Vieri doubles the lead. It's 2-0. Daggington, after that very short honeymoon period of winning the first game, are in trouble here. That's half time, and it has been pretty much all Exiles. A couple of shots for Stackington, but Exiles definitely um, dominating this one so far. Nesta on a 6, though, a bit surprising, and Charlie Chaos on a 6 as well. What's happening to him? Neil says, as is. Appreciate the quick feedback. Meanwhile, Stackington Buffon on a 5, having a bit of a bar test moment here. Baroni on a 5 as well. Doing the business is Exiled formation. Indeed, the Exiled formation is looking pretty strong. Um, Overall, not looking superb for Stackington this first half. Rivaldo's on a yellow card. That's probably the most exciting thing that's happened. Binotto's on a 7. We'll see if the manager makes any changes or if he lets it run till 60. Alex says as is. Let's see. First 15 of the second half. See if it changes anything. Well, Oliver Dacour, who was one of the better players in that first game, has picked up a knock. I'm not sure if we have a natural direct replacement uh, to him in the squad. Perhaps Akahawa in and move him up front or move him a bit forward could be an option for Alex here as he's chasing the game. We'll see if he does anything. Cosmin Contra for the cool. Interesting. And leave him there, or any moving around? Like Baronio Central. Uh-huh. Good. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Good, good, good. We run with this till 60 and see if he can do a job in there. Oh, I'm guessing straight swap for Agahauer for Binotto. We'll treat this as the 60, so if you want to do any tactical changes as well, move people around otherwise, um, then please let me know. But I'm presuming Agahauer is going to go in there. Uh, Contract only moved from Burn in the off season. Yes, I believe that literally every single Stackington player, perhaps with the exception of like two or three, have moved this season. Neil, this is yours. So Roberto on a 7. Charlie Chaos on just on a 6. Condition wise, you're doing great. Um, any changes? Just let me know. If you want to see Ronald Gomez again, then Gomez for a rule. Yes, get in. Uh, we'll give him the captain's armband as well, shall we? Or we'll let the game decide. Ah, it's Nesta. Fair enough. Long arrows on Rivaldo and Agahawa. Binotto comes on long arrows on these boys. And we will see if um, that helps Stackington. 2-0. It's a big chase over the last 30 minutes here. There was Agahawa's name popping up, but time did jump forward quite dramatically to 78 minutes. Rivaldo smashing it low. Had a good chance there. Casano had a good chance as well. Stackington just can't find the back of the net, um, which was the problem on the previous managers as well, and it finishes with a 2-0 victory for the home side. 5 shots, 4 on target, didn't do much in the second half, but held on, which was all that was required. Stagginson really failed to even hit the target, especially Rivaldo, who from that left hand side took all of the shots for no particular reason. Cosmin Contra, let's just confirm. He came from Dudley Hill in the off season. So that is indeed correct. He's another one who's tied up until the end of the year, um, end of the season, whatever it is, until next season. For the Exiles, say Roberto with the assist and a 9. Raul with an assist and an 8. Ronald Gomez came on, got a 7. Charlie Chaos dropping down in those average rating rankings with a 6. Disappointing from him. Damiano Tomasi climbing up the other way on a 9. Yeah, he will get above 8 average now. Excellent performance from him. Great. Sancte against Los Santos is what we have got coming up next. Ross is obviously here. I saw Scott earlier as well. Couple of changes for Los Santos. I believe Pizarro comes in up top. Lichun So takes the place of Ebbe Sand. They had a tough game last time out, 2-0 defeat at Sloths, with Tariba West getting that 9. Struggling to find anything going forward. Debski, Nedved, Tristan, Ebesand, Kalatse, Pizarro, Chunso, everyone getting 6s. So manager will definitely be hoping for an improvement this evening. They are away to Sancte though. That's a little bit of a tricky one. Of course, a tricky tie for them, but they've got to win this one. Sancte are right in front of them, 3 points on the line here. They can of course level with them if they pick up the win this evening. Uh, Sancte are another one of those sides who have completely changed their tactics for this game. They go 3 up top with Montella and Penza and Owen. Madavikia comes up from the reserves to play on the right wing. He's on 91 fitness. Totti moves out to the left wing. Not sure we've seen him deployed that often in this position. Jagato Smertin and Tahinadi at the EMCs. Maicon comes in at central defense as well. And Ye Old Holy One 619. If that's a reference to the fact that you have had many variations of of one tactic, then then there are many more to come. I'm sure we've seen many iterations of the same tactics. But I like it 619. I like it. Anyway, at home Sancte, away side Los Santos. Maicon gets number 28. Let's see who picks up 3 points here. Can Sancte open the gap up to six, or will Los Santos close it? They are just 3 points behind in the table. Nedved and Debski, the early names that popped up here. Nedved again, he was one of the guys who performed early in the season while Jamie was still in charge of the side. He should be a star player for them, but it's obviously tough times at Los Santos. Once you get off to a bad start, then it's tricky. Have I done the bench right? Apologies for this, Scott, if I've screwed up your bench. Guerrero, Tristan, and Ebisand on the bench. It's it seems very attacking, but maybe that's my bad. Either way, you have a choice to make here: Tristan or Sand, replacing Pizarro up top. Ebisand comes on, excellent. We roll until halftime. Let's see if the Danish Superman can do it, as he did for Brøndby, for Schalke in his actual playing career, and for the Danish national side, of course. Famous goal in that 4-1 victory against Nigeria in the '98 World Cup. We reached half time. Neither side have been particularly effective. They've had shots, but not necessarily on target. Michael Owen, the main source of wastefulness from Sancte. 3 shots, none of them on target. And excellent fitness for everyone. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Those are your options, Ross. Scott says as is, we will show anyway. A bunch of sixes, not great. But at least their misses have been distributed a little bit better. Debski, Lichunso, and Nedved had 1 shot each, couldn't hit the target. Ebesand had 2, at least hit the target, but as mentioned, no goal. Both managers roll till 60. Let's see how it goes. First 15 of the second half. There is, oh, Emil Debski, Wayne Dade, how could you do it to us? He was about to have the opener, but it's another Dane who gets the opener. Ebesand gets the first goal of the game, and it is 1-0 for Los Santos. Much better start to the second half for them. We have still got Tristan and Guerrero on the bench. Scott, if you want to make any changes, fitness wise, you're doing great. Match rating wise, it looks like this. Guerrero for Lichun, so maybe. Scott says as is, no changes there. Meanwhile, Ross, you've got mainly defensive players on the bench, to be fair, or back, of course. Will we see Arek back? As is, please. That was for 60, I guess, from Sancte. Um, Now's the time if you want to work your magic, if you want to throw Arik back in the mix, if you see what he can do. It's not been great from Mpensa and Montella so far. Owen has at least has shots, even if they haven't been on target. Decisions, decisions, decisions. 3 key points at stake here. Back for Montella, then at AMC, please. And back, Montella, AMC. I guess that's it. Let's see if that has an impact. 3 up top is a brave decision, but it's maybe not super often that you see results from it. Interesting, this one. Let's see if Los Santos can hold on. We've got 15 minutes left to play, and it has been a lot of Sancte since that hour change, but we are now at 85 minutes. And Penza with a long drive. Oh, that's the equalizer. Sancte have leveled the match. I believe Totti got the assist on that one. Devsky come forward. Excellent tackle by the defenders there. Lee Chun-so comes forward. Khan with a great save. And it's San, Ebba San with his second of the evening. Khan is berating his defense. They were at blame for the goal. Apparently, we're into added time. Ferguson comes forward. San was involved as well. Again, linesman has his flag up. Mandavika stayed in offside position as Sancte try and come and find the equalizer again. There's Jogatos, continues his run. There comes Takinadi. Lee Chun-so back down to defend. Biscan heads away the corner, and it stays. It stays as a 2-1 victory. Ebisand with the double, coming on for the injured Pizarro, finding the winner for Los Santos with just a couple of minutes to play. Excellent finish to that game. Proper Super League excitement here. Huge battle at the bottom of the table. Los Santos catching up to Sancte, now both teams on 16 points, if memory serves. Um, Excellent performance from Los Santos. Manager will be happy to see that. Another victory for a narrow formation, something that is always a popular event. Debsky got the assist. Look at how he has developed with those 20 strength and stamina, the pace, the long shots, and he can only get better, only 19 years old. Looking forward to seeing him in the Super League over the next couple of seasons. How long will Medlini last? At 35, who knows? Still a 7.14 average. Great game for Los Santos. Good win for them. Over the other side, it wasn't actually a bad game for Sancte. A little bit unlucky, perhaps. I thought Totti had a foot in that goal. It appears not. It was just Impensa with a shot. He got an 8. At least he's on the score sheet, which is something that can't be said for him for a lot of the season. I think it was his third of the season in many games, and with those attributes, he should probably be doing a little bit better. Either way, solid performance from both sides. Great win for Los Santos. Next up, it's Spartak Sloths against the Stanley. We also have I believe then it's the Badgers Burn game, which will come a little bit later. We have to play a couple of days in the background, and just to see how that goes. So yeah, bear with me, bear with me. This is Sloths. Were there changes? I believe Keane maybe came on for Shearer and Ronnie Johnson on the bench for Southgate. I think those were the changes from that nil victory that the Sloths had last time out. Tariba West, man of the match there, so no spaces for Johnson to come straight back in, despite being a very good player. But Alf obviously picks them based on recent performances. So and we can't really say fairer than that. Probably one of the best saves you will see from the Arsenal keeper, Raya. Oh, the football is on. Oh, apologies for the overlap. But the football is always on, it seems. I've given up following, to be completely honest. Either way, let's crack on with this one. Red Rose Stanley down the other side. I've not seen Mike's name. Maybe he is here. Or maybe not. Either way, this is Stanley as they line up. Same handler on for Phil Neville. Phil Neville for Salih Hamidic, I think. Yes, indeed. Phil Neville moved to the right hand side. Comes in. He was obviously man of the match, but Candela is back, so he takes his normal spot on the left. We kick this one off and see if Sloths can find another win, or if it will be Stanley who picks up the 3 points in this one. A good start for both sides, having a shot or two, I think. Um, Scally is playing, I guess. I guess he has to. It is the Super League after all, and some people do fancy him. 22 minutes gone, no goal so far. Perhaps slightly in the favor of Sloths. Um, if I was to say that someone has had the upper hand, I think that was Nicky Butt picking up a yellow card there. We move up towards half time. Petit on a yellow as well. I think it was him who got that. Um, yeah, Sloths have been all over them. As Alf often mentions, it's just a question of scoring goals. It happened last time out, but it hasn't happened so far this evening. 7 shots, 3 of them on target. The shots have come from Kessman, from Costa, and one from Robbie Keane. Some sixes. Let's have a quick look at the condition. Everyone's still in the 90s. Brooking and Petit on yellows. Um, and that's where we're at half time. Emerson and Shearer, obvious attacking options on the bench. Yapstam is down on a 6. Could we see Ronnie, big Ronnie, the big Norwegian? Could we see him in play as well? We've got Red Rose here. Nicky Butt indeed picked up that yellow. Else is on a 6. Condition wise, everyone's in the 90s, so not a lot happened there. We'll wait for the confirmation from both managers if any changes are to be made or if they will continue as is until 60. Meanwhile, I can of course recommend you to also Asna Square, as I'm sure you will know, uh, is also putting stuff on YouTube, which is funny. He has an accent, and and he swears a lot. So, and he does funny things. I think he's playing a Milan save with all Eastern European players at the moment. It's good. It's worth a watch for sure. Emerson Pit for PT, that's it. And I don't think Mike is here, so we run till 60. Baruki doing his best to try to open the scoring for Sloth, but not managing it. Um, Rossini and Mido combining for Stanley, trying to get a goal for them. And it was Rossini again. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Indeed, Stanley came back into it here in the second half. Sloths, yep, I'm still on a 6. Everyone else is on a 7. Condition, no need to worry. So, Alf, if you want to see Ronnie or Shira in action, now is the time to make those decisions. Those are your two remaining substitutes. Um, I'll have a quick look at Stanley in the meantime. Ronaldo and Mido on sixes. Condition wise, we're doing okay. So we will leave that as is for Mike. We'll pop back to sloths and see if Alf wants to make any changes. Should be plenty of firepower in Keen and Kessman, but doesn't hasn't really worked out that well. Again, another player with 17 for finishing, 20 pace. Good stamina. Strength is a bit low, not good in the air. Shira for Keen. I guess that's the obvious one. We'll see if Allen can find the back of the net. It's still Stanley creating the chances. There's Mido, there's Ronaldo. Names are popping up again and again, but it's Rui Costa from distance on 66 minutes, opening the scoring from for the Sloths. Uh, have Stanley blown all their energy? We will soon see. Taribo West picks up an injury, and not much to be doing here other than a straight swap for Ronnie. Um, but I don't think that's going to weaken the side at all, to be completely honest. Um, I'll wait for your confirmation now, but I'm yeah, run you on exactly. I was going to say there is no other option, so we will just do that. We'll slow it down for the last 10. Stanley can sit and get excited if they can find a way back into this. Scally pushes Keel. He didn't even get a yellow for that. And Shearer with a good shot pushes it, but just over the bar. 3 minutes of added time. Slots come forward. Rui Costa comes forward. Will he get a second of the evening? He will not. Kessman has a shot, but could not find the back of the net. Couldn't even find the target apparently. Kessman makes himself available, comes up with a volley. Westerweld saves it. Should be all done now, or is it? Great challenge by Steve. Oh my goodness, Stanley's coming, pouring forward now. Huge saves, huge defensive effort from Sloss. But last round's man of the match for Stanley, Phil Neville, has found the equalizer in the dying seconds of the game. I think the last action. Heartbreak for Sloths. It looks as if they were headed for 3 points, but Stanley find the equalizer. Semak with the corner. Phil Neville powered a header at goal. What an unlikely source of the equalizer. But Mike will definitely take it when he watches this back. 1-1 Sloths against Stanley. Another exciting finish. Another great Super League game. Unbelievable, says Alf. Beaten in the air by Phil Neville. You, you've got you've got Ronnie, you have got who have you got at the back? You've got Stam, you've got Johnson at the back, and they're beaten by Phil Neville in the air. That is terrible, terrible luck. Anyway, a good performance from Sloths, a bunch of sevens and eights, plenty of shots for Rui Costa for Kessman, and it looked as if they were heading for 3 points. But up steps Sergei Semak with the corner. Phil Neville, another man of the match performance from him. Bullet header into the top corner, and West Taribo would have cleared that one. He probably would. He probably would. But anyway, um, e- entertaining game. Commiserations, Alf. It looked as if you were heading for the 3 points, and Phil Neville getting the unlikely winner. Um, that obviously completes the initial games, but do hang about. I will just have to do some Super League magic and skip forward a couple of games here. Um, Dunedin Tech won the third place playoff, by the way, if anyone is interested. We will come to the uh, we will come to the league table shortly. Um, no one is getting sacked, so don't worry. In the background, the two most successful competitive CM managers on next. Um, are they? Perhaps. Enough late goals tonight. Yeah, well, there definitely was a few, but we had so few goals last time out. Paul Boswell has requested to leave Red Rose Stanley. He wants first team football. That's a bit of info for you there, if anyone is looking for Boswell. Um, Apologies for this. There's a bunch of irrelevant and non-interesting news popping up in the background. Here we are, back with the action. Northern Burn against the Badgers. I will have to, of course, just do the setup for the Badgers, so bear with me if I can find the actual window for it. There we go. We shall change to Tato and go in and have a look at clearing the squad and not including the reserves. Um, Bear with us a second. Tato, you be the auditor on this particular thing if I make any mistakes, but let's have a quick look. I believe we have Toldo in goal with Uifalushi at the back. Then we have Ataya, Desai, Mendieta, Rayad, um, Shimkoviak, Davids, Nikiforenko, Tsigalko, Day, Svientokowski, Pierre, and Foe, I believe, is what we are looking at. Excellent. Onwards and upwards, Mendieta becomes captain. Over at Northern Burn, I think Vieira's coming back in. I forget things. Or Hippia comes back in for Kivu, I believe, is the change. But I will double check. Uh, Again for Kivu back as captain, Vieira back to DMC, Riquelme left, Milevski right, and Hippia back as captain. And it looks as if I've actually do this. So all good, all good. Northern Burn last time out, 0-0 with Fulchester, looking to get back to winning ways. They still have only conceded 2 goals at home. I believe it was Stackington who was the first team to actually get a goal at Northern Burn this season. So see if Badgers can copy that. Really want to have a run with your tactic. It's fairly standard. It's fairly standard. I mean, it's anyone else can pick the same tactic and run 4 seasons with it and see if they get the same results. Let's see how this game goes this evening. Northern Burn at home to the Badgers. Looks as if Northern Burn mean business. A couple of good chances here in the first couple of minutes, but Badgers are not letting them have it all their own way. Tsigalko, of course, always a huge threat. Picked up a bit of confidence, possibly in the earlier OFC Champions Cup games. I believe he got a couple of goals there. Didn't feature in the last two because he was being put back in the league squad, but known for scoring a lot of goals, but not so far. A tight affair. It looks as if I thought there had been a couple of shots in the beginning. I guess not. Those are the Northern Burn stats. Brosek had a shot, fitness wise. Um, everyone, Chrysler didn't feel like 0 shots. Indeed, it didn't. It didn't at all. Ian says as is, unsurprising. Tato will presumably go as is as well and see if something happens in the first 15. Battalia's down on a 6. Svientokowski someone he's liked to use before. So we will see if he comes on. We run this till 60. Uh, Iga Casillas with the save there. And there comes Kuhl forward. Riquelme comes forward. Uh, yeah, still 0-0. Still a tight affair. Let's have a look. Yeah, Badger still. I've seen a lot of Iker Casillas picking up the ball doing this. It seems as if Casillas is making saves, but they're not registering as shots. I'm not sure. He is on a 7, so he has been involved. Uh, Patrick Vieira getting a 9. Ian says as is. They are kind of in control of the game. And let's have a look at the badges. It's 6 and 7s for the attacking players. Down at the back, we for Lucy and Klumpe both on 8, same as Toto. Mendieta, the captain, on an 8 as well. David's on that 7. Will we see any of the other guys in action? Rayad is down on 79. Battaglia off for Pierre. David's left DMC and put Pierre. Okay. Battaglia off for Pierre. And David's too. Da 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 da. I guess like this. Excellent. 30 minutes to play off this evening's last game before we have a look at the table. Thank you for staying with us. Those of you who still are. will be will this be what gives Badgers a shot on target? They are trying, I believe they're trying, but I've yet to see any evidence of it, of any of the shots hitting the target. There was Iker Casillas. I saw his name again. Commentary speed. Let's slow it down for the last 10 minutes. There was a corner. Riquelme hits the ball upfield. Nikiforenko lets the ball. There was a Casillas save from a Nikiforenko shot. Definitely had a shot. Might even have been two now. Casillas clears the ball. And very, very difficult to break down this Northern Burn defense. Badgers are trying though, but Mendieta and Vieira are really doing a very, very solid job at the back there. Just a couple of minutes left to play now. Will that be the final whistle? It will indeed. Second goalless game for Northern Burn in a row. They keep the clean sheet at home. Ian said prior to the game that he would take a draw, and he's gotten it. Can't separate the Titans. Solid game. Well, it was a game of chess, I think. 20 tackles, 18 of them won, 6 of them key. Well, in that case, it is going to be slightly difficult to score on top of the 7 and 6 headers. It is going to be difficult to find a way through. I don't think he's had the best start to the season, Patrick Vieira, but he's back to his best. That is a lot of 20s and 18s and 19s in those attributes. Well done him. Meanwhile, Badgers, not a bad game from them. Nikiforenko with a couple of chances to Galco with a shot on target. Very, very difficult to get to come to Northern Burn and get anything. At least they grabbed the point, so congratulations to them. That leaves the table looking like this. Uh, Northern Burn 4 points ahead of Dudley Hill, who have 1 point down to Exiles, who have 1 point down to Haggis. 2 points down to Voss Road and East Coast from those. Fulchester on 24, very, very close to that top 6. Vikings on 22. Sloths on 20. Badgers on 20. Stanley on 17. Sancte on 14. Los Santos on 14. I think I said 16 before. They're obviously both on 14. Los Santos have caught up, but pretty not ideal goal difference, 16 to 28. Stackington only 10 goals so far this season, didn't get any more this evening. However, there are teams in the top half, Dudley and Exiles, who also have like 17 goals in 16 games. Very, very poor. But we're in the season of not particularly adventurous tactics, which is fair. We play to win, so I won't complain too much about it. Thank you very much for hanging out, guys. I'll get the packs out this evening. I'm away for the weekend, so I'll get that done. We're back next Thursday. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it as usual. Thank you very much for participating. Speak to you all soon. Good night, everyone.